Hi guys, welcome back. So we're going to be making another mushroom pendant today, and you're going to be taking a step-by-step tutorial with me. So let's go inside where it's warm because it's freezing right now. I can barely feel my fingers. So let's go inside and start creating this little guy. Okay, so we have our polymer clay, obviously. We have our quartz crystal, and we have our brass hoops. I'm just going to have one of these. So first things first, I'm gonna cut this and bend it where it can, actually, I might just leave it as it is, and I'm gonna go ahead and get some polymer clay, just a little bit like this. We're gonna stick it right on to the crystal. A little bit goes a long ways. I'm just gonna press this hoop right in and let it just hang on there like that. Make sure it's even, it's not too leaned forward or back. We're going to take more polymer clay and make sure the sides are nice and secure. Go ahead and take your tool. Now we have the base of the piece ready. These are really old polymer clay that's been in the storage for maybe, I don't even know, like 3-4 years, and for some reason they're still good. The quality is still good, so I'm gonna go ahead and use these two colors, orange and a light baby pink. I'm gonna take a little bit of the pink and a little bit of the orange, and then I'm gonna go ahead and swirl this together. Well, let me just knead it first and get it nice and soft. We're gonna make the leaves that don't really look like leaves. They're just made up leaves from another world. So let me just mix this together. I'm just gonna twist it. Roll it up. Roll it into a ball. And now we're gonna roll it into a snake. And as I'm rolling, I'm also gonna twist. So it's gonna start to look like a candy cane. Just gonna cut it in half and keep rolling it, and then as it gets thinner you also want to twist it again. Cut them up into small pieces. We got our itty bitty pieces. We have our pendant, and now we're just going to roll it up a little bit. We're going to take these little bitty pieces right on. Oops. So this is how you make it. First, we're gonna get a little piece, roll it up. Where's my tool? With your little ball tool, I'm just gonna poke the top. And then just press into the clay. Twist and let go. And we're gonna do that all around the pendant. Okay, so we're gonna stop here and we're gonna save the rest of this for later. For the next step, we're gonna add in the mushrooms, and then later on we can add in some additional toppings, whatever we can think of. But for now, we're gonna add the mushrooms. So I have my polymer clay. I'm gonna take a little piece and I'm gonna go ahead and prop this on top of this clay to make sure the pieces don't get squished. So I have that. Put that out to the side. Now for my mushrooms. Same thing, roll it out into a snake. Cut this in half. Cut some little pieces. Form these pieces up into a bunch of stems. Here's my little family of mushrooms. So we're gonna go ahead and start coloring them. We have our pastel chalks. So we're gonna use these. I'm gonna be using the colors on the top here. So pink, hot pink, a little bit of yellow, blue, purple. I also have some copper wire, really thin copper wire. Use this to attach the cap to the stem so it doesn't fall down. Let's start making the mushroom caps. We're gonna take a little piece of clay, roll it into a ball. And of course you want to make different sizes because we have different size stems. So once it's a perfect little ball, or almost perfect little ball, we're gonna start making the caps and form it into however you want it to look like. I'm gonna make mine a little bit more wide. So using my fingers and just pushing out the sides. Here's my little cap. I'm gonna get my little sharp edge tool and poke a hole in the middle so I know where to slice. So from the middle I just push down to make the gills. Like that. And then I'm gonna push it out a little bit to fix the shape of the cap. And now I'm just gonna make more of them. And as you make the caps, you want to make sure you want to fit it into the stem just to see if the cap matches the stem. Like for example, I don't know, to each their own, but this one, the stem is way too big for the cap, so I'd make a bigger one. So I think this one would fit this size perfectly. Now the mushrooms are ready to be painted. I'm gonna go ahead and start shaving the chalk. Now we're gonna make the skirt. Again, just make a snake, a really thin one, and then you're just gonna flatten it out. So I cut it in half. I'm gonna pull this up. And I'm gonna add it to my mushroom. I'm gonna flatten it out a little bit more with my fingers. So I'm gonna add it on. Stuck to my fingers. Like this. Roll it around. And then you're gonna flare up the skirt. And it doesn't have to be perfect because in nature mushrooms are all different, they flare up differently. I'm gonna cut this copper wire 1/2 inch, that, and I'm gonna stick it right on top. I have my paintbrush, dabble some water, and I'm gonna use yellow. Take my stem right here, go ahead and start painting. With a thinner brush, I'm gonna go in for pink and blue. I'm not gonna use water this time. Should I use? Yeah, I'll use a little bit of water, but not too much. And I'll start with the pink. Now we're ready to paint our caps. We're gonna start off with some yellow. And we're gonna paint it yellow all around, including the inside of the gills. So actually, let's start with the inside first. Now starting from the middle, we're gonna start out with some purple. Now I'm going in with a little bit of blue. And lastly, the edges with pink. Now it's time to attach the mushrooms to the pendant, so I'm going to be using some liquid Sculpey to glue on the mushrooms so they don't fall off. And with the same brush, I'm just going to spread it around like that. So starting with the biggest mushroom, I'll add this guy right here. Now we're going to add the caps. The mushrooms are now all added in there. So lastly, we're going to go ahead and finish up with our outer decor, the leaves, the flowers, whatever you want to call it. I'm also going to be using liquid Sculpey to make sure it's nice and secure. And after that, we're going to be baking it. So I should have put the cap on last because look, it's like leaning. It just keeps leaning and tilting. But you can see that I'm almost finished. And I got these little pieces left. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it was gonna take. So once I'm fully to the top, I'm gonna go ahead and try to straighten these shrooms out because I'm having some issues with them and the color is kind of just fading and my fingerprints are kind of starting to show a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe if I turn it around. The colors are just getting all messy from my fingers just being all around it. So it's the next morning because I was just getting really tired of putting these things on. I woke up and the mushroom broke off. So I'm just thinking, yeah, maybe I should have did this in the end or stuck a longer wire inside the shroom so it would, you know, stay in place. Also, the caps are very messed up. They're just not the color I thought it would be. A lot of fingerprints. It didn't come out to how I thought they were gonna come out to. It's just, it looks really crowded. It's a big disaster. Also, look at this clay. I've been just holding it on to its dear life, and all the chalk and hairs and dust is just all over it. Not really satisfied with this piece, but I'm just at this point ready to just get it over with. I came this far to make it, so might as well just finish it and move on to the next. It's completely done, so now all I have to do is bake it in the oven. I'm gonna bake this piece as is, like that, and then glue it on, or just plop it on when I start to coat it with some resin. So now it's time to coat the pendant with some resin.